everyone, my name is Soul and welcome to FandomPop. I recently uploaded a video where I reacted and made my thoughts and talked about the PlayStation 5, the game reveal, the console reveal, and I talked about a couple games. I talked about Spider-Man, I talked about Project Athea, and I wanted to talk about all the games. So that is what we are doing here today. First off, I'm going to talk about Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet is now a interdimensional Rick and Morty boy traveling from dimension to dimension, and it looks so beautiful, man. I didn't think I would have my jaw drop from a Ratchet and Clank trailer. Insomniac has apparently the budget to do two full AAA, like, giant ass games, and I'll be honest, I'm not a Ratchet and Clank fan. I have never finished a Ratchet and Clank game in my life, but I love the first game. I never beat it, but I love the shit out of that game. I was just more of a Sly Cooper kind of kid, and I've tried a couple other games in the franchise. Maybe this will be the one, and why not? Because they are introducing the only reason people seem to be talking about this game, and that is there's a female Ratchet, whether she be just an alternate version of him or something or the other. Pretty sure it's just an alternate female version of Ratchet. Anyway, on to the next game. Alright, I just watched the trailer for Stray, and this is an interesting game. This was a very cinematic trailer. It doesn't say a whole lot, but basically in this game you are a delivery package person. You're a cat. You're like the owls from Harry Potter, and you have to deliver packages in this dystopian robot society. If you ever watched Love, Death, Robots on Netflix, they had a skit where all humanity seemed to just burn over and all that's left is robots and cats. That's basically the story here. You know, we have robots who are living very similar to human lives and lifestyles. They are doing all sorts of human things, but there are cats and other dystopian things, I'm sure, that are lurking in the shadows, and that's it. That's all we got. We have an adorable fucking cat. At the end of the game, end of the trailer, I should say, we see this cat. It purrs, and it's like hearing angels. That's how cute this fucking cat is. Cats have come a long way in video games, man. I was playing Dark Cloud the other day, and you know, there's a cat in that. It's awful, man. It looks awful. We can't see the ripples in its fur like in this. Ugh. I love the future, man. I love being animals in games. Every time I get to like play Bayonetta and turn into a jaguar thing, or any game that allows me to take control of an animal and you're out of your human body, it's the best. Now I have a whole game where I get to be a cat. Life is good. Alright, so I just watched the trailer for Returnal, and this is a really cool looking game. This is another PlayStation exclusive. That is crazy. But it basically takes place on an alien planet. You are an astronaut, you get stranded here, and then after that it turns into like an Alan Wake mindfuck where you're trying to like survive and also like not die of killing yourself and losing all sense of self. And the planet is literally like, it felt like Annihilation. You ever watched that movie Annihilation? That's what it started to turn into, and it's a cool ass looking game. I tried to look into the developer. They haven't done anything super substantial, and like they haven't put out a game in like 4 years, which would lead me to believe that they've been working on this for at least like 3 some years. That's crazy. There's a lot riding on this PlayStation event, man. Like, you think that there's so much going on with the world and the riots and the coronavirus, like this was in the works for years. This day, this onslaught of content was waiting, and PlayStation just was holding off on that trigger, but now we finally have these games. There's finally something else to talk about than our own death and destruction. We can talk about the death and destruction of this woman on this lost planet. It looks really cool. It's a third-person shooter, and the shooting actually looked like kind of a more Mass Effect-y, like something I might be into, so hell yeah. I'd play it. Alright, so this was another PlayStation exclusive. This was Destruction All-Stars, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale game at first, and then I was like, I like saw like just a second of gameplay, and I was like, oh, I guess they didn't want to use PlayStation IP, so they're just doing like a Smash Bros. I was just not paying attention the first time I watched this thing, but now that I've fully gotten a comprehensive idea of what it is, it's basically Fortnite meets the Rocket League, but also not that at all. It's like a demolition derby Rocket League. That's where I'm kind of confused. I'm like, how do you win? You just destroy all the other cars? Is it like the last one standing? I'm not too sure. But basically you jump out of your vehicle, like you just constantly are like jumping out of vehicles and like throwing fireballs or whatever the fuck you're doing. And it's a big mayhem spree, and it looks like a lot of fun. It's dope looking. This doesn't look like my kind of game though. Like all these Overwatch, Fortnite online games, like I'm a single player boy. But you know, if it was on at a party or something, I would pick it up. It doesn't look like I would be against it. I like Rocket League, and I like that you have your car and you also have your avatar. You have like a lot more customization things going on there. And this is exclusively on PlayStation, dude. This game could just be like a sleeper hit, or it could just be like one of the biggest games like of this generation. You never know with these kinds of things, so we'll see. I probably won't be getting this one though. Alright, so I just saw Sackboy's Big Adventure, Sackboy A Big Adventure, and this is you know, a spin-off of the Little Big Planet series, and I like the Little Big Planet games. I never got like into them, but I was really late getting into the PS3 generation. Like it was like well over by the time I finally jumped in, and I was going through so many like Infamouses and Uncharted's. By the time I got to Little Big Planet, I was like, okay, whatever. But I do want to get into them one day, but this time around we have like a Super Mario 3D World kind of spin-off where Sackboy is just kind of doing more of a condensed, isolated platform adventure. I assume because the creators went on to make Dreams, and Dreams is like the ultimate, it's a video game creation system. Since they already have that, I assume that they have the Little Big Planet license, and they're just like, hey, yeah, we can do some fun with this just for the time being. Get Sackboy a little bit more name recognition. Like, this kind of took me back, like when I was a kid and I played like Super Mario 64 versus like kids playing this. That's like night and day, and I'm not trying to say that this is going to be a better game than Super Mario 64, but like compare me at my age as a kid to kids playing this. Like graphics wise, it's a completely different experience, and I'm excited for my kid. Like the first couple games that they'll be able to play are games like this. That's awesome, man. I'm excited for the future. Sony, another goddamn exclusive. Calm down. You did calm down. Jesus Christ. I have no idea why like they had this intro with like Sackboy dressed in like a tiger suit. Like I was like, I didn't know if this was Tony the Tiger's Frosted Flakes adventures or what was going on, but I enjoyed the game. It was just a lot of gameplay. Like it was just a lot of what you're gonna be doing, just minimalist platforming in a pretty dope looking environment, but I'm into it. Maybe one day when it's like $10, I'll give it a try. Alright, so I just watched Oddworld Soulstorm, and I was not even really aware of Oddworld as a franchise until not that long ago, actually. I'm still not familiar with it. Like I couldn't tell you what the gameplay looks like. Watching this though, it definitely seems like something I'm not gonna get. What we saw was kind of a basic platforming game, and it felt like a very more goblin-y, like a NetherRealm kind of I don't know. It definitely just didn't seem like my kind of game, because the main little goblin dude just seemed kind of janky, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna have like a very impactful story. So I don't think this one's for me personally. But you know, it looked pretty. It looked pretty cool. I have so many games to play. Like, I have nothing against this. And it's also gonna, look at that, it's gonna be on PC. This is the first not PlayStation exclusive game in quite some time. I got nothing on this one. On to the next one. I just watched Kena Bridge of Spirits. Okay, one bad thing about not having like a guy on stage like talk about the game right afterward is I could be butchering the title of this game, but who cares? This looks dope as all hell. It looks like a Rare game from Nintendo 64 era, but like on like Kingdom Hearts 3 graphics. And on top of that, it's kind of like Pitman. You have like you're this young girl with like a staff and a bow. It looks like Horizon Zero Dawn for a little bit there. And you also are in command of these little like black like furball creatures. They look like, I don't know, the black soot things from Spirited Away. Just these little furball things that you use as you would like Pikmin creatures, like just to help you progress through the level. It has like, I guess, at least minimalist platforming, puzzle solving going on here. And it looks like it's kind of an art game. Like, I'm looking at like the location here, and it looks like a really big like Jak and Dexter 1 kind of world, and a lot of these like shrines look like Japan. And some of this gameplay, man, it's like I don't want to believe that that's gameplay. Like, you know how like you could have like a gameplay cutscene? I feel like that's what I'm looking at. And I know a lot of these games don't have gameplay, and I'm still going off. You can't judge a game until you see gameplay, but like, yes you can. You could see a drawing of the main character in a location, and that will tell you plenty. That will tell you plenty that you can like kind of get an idea for the game. This game looks cute, adorable, and exciting, adventurous. I don't think I have a bad thing to say. I guess it's going to be on PS5 until it goes to PC eventually. I don't know who it's by, but damn, like, I like that you have all these different abilities. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like a skill tree kind of thing, because she has like this Fuss Roda power at one point, and it like bursts all around her. Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. On to the next one. Alright, this is going to be the last one for this video. This is Goodbye Volcano High. It looks like a very fun, quirky indie game, and I remember watching like old, some of the other game reveals like in the last generation. Like, there was a lot of indie games, man. There was a lot of indie games that like didn't really necessarily like fully grasp what the future would be. And in this, like, I can kind of get an idea what the next couple years are gonna look like based off of this entire event. But this one, just even looking at like the view count, like you have like Ratchet and Clank X million amount of views, Horizon Zero whatever the fuck X amount of million views. Then you have like Goodbye Volcano High with 300K currently. Yeah, there's a lot of other things going on in this game. Unfortunately, it kind of just feels like the last one on everybody's mind. And it looks quirky, it looks very indie. You have these anamorphic characters, like it looks like a Zootopia fanfic turned into a Life is Strange game. I like the little speech the main character gave, but there's just not a lot going on, man. Like, it's just literally characters interacting. They play music for a little bit over a monologue. You don't really have any idea what the gameplay is gonna be. Then it's just like 2021. Doesn't really say all that much, but I assume it's gonna be a very narrative indie game. I do like narrative indie games, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, this is gonna close out this video. That was a lot of fucking games, you guys. I'm very excited for the future. I like sharing my opinions with y'all, and if you can learn about these new games with me, all the better. I'll see you in part 3. Until then, with that, I leave you.
Cause I'm wasting mine, doing nothing out substance. I'm constantly reminded I'm running out of time.